So we had 1,000 emails off everybody the first week of the protest. Rugby Borough Council have said that they've agreed they're not going to develop on the land. So that's a fantastic situation for us. See what goes on from here. The inspector's coming out in at the end of the consultation period, and then see if they can face a compulsory purchase order. We don't know if they're going to do that yet. Of course, if they do, they'll be contested as well. So, you know, it's a long battle. Who's to say? Going to keep trying. I'll put the link up. We've been on the radio this week as well, so the first half's all on the radio. It was good. It was good. They all did. All the guys that rang did a really good job.
I can't believe it's been that long. It's one of those things. Even a little bit earlier on when we had our guest in, lovely Andrea, the Coventry Poet Laureate, she said to me, well, I used to go to Speedway when I was younger. It was a great feeling. It was. I think for most of us Cov kids, we probably went up Brandon at least once. I loved it. I loved it as a kid, loved it as a grown-up. I was honoured to be there to cover the Bees when they won the treble in that historic season. That must be the best part of 20 years ago now. But it's one of those things. The shale on your face, the smell of the two-stroke. It's a magical experience being there at Brandon, especially under lights. It's the sound of the summer and the stock cars as well. What an experience that was. And it's been gone for a long time now. The Brandon Stadium has fallen further and further into disrepair, but the hope that Bees can be back at Brandon seems to have taken another step forward with the publication of a new local plan. I'll tell you more about the details of that in just a moment. But how are you feeling about it? How are you feeling about Speedway being back at Brandon? Do you believe we will ever see it again in our city? Or is it time to just say goodbye? Drop me a line, 0800 75 65.
Submitted to the Secretary of State, and an inspector will be appointed who will hold a public examination. And if the local plan is approved by the inspector, including this policy, then it's absolutely great news for us and for everybody who wants to see the stadium, come back to life. There are thousands of people, as evidenced by the responses we're getting, that are just waiting for Brandon to return. You will know from being a supporter yourself just how significant Brandon Stadium was in this both sports, speedway and stock car racing, the history and the heritage of the sport. And furthermore, tracks have been lost locally in the Midlands. Wolverhampton, Birmingham, Peterborough have all closed in recent years for the same reason. It's not down to lack of demand, it's down to land tenure issues. The stadiums have been sold by the owners, and unfortunately the Speedway stock car promoters didn't own those stadiums, so those venues have been lost, and Coventry would attract supporters from all those areas, as well as the normal support we would get in the Coventry, Rugby and Eton areas. So we have absolutely no doubt that if and when Coventry reopens, it would be fantastic. There'd be capacity crowds at, certainly in the early years, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's been too long, so hopefully things work out. But yeah, no, it meant a lot for me. Riding for Colin Pratt was always a great honour. To me, he was the best promoter that I ever ridden for, fair and everything. So to represent that club, he put faith in me to do and represent. I held it close to my heart. I loved every minute of it. Loved the track, the atmosphere. The fans was always great. They was always look behind you, and it's sadly been missed, and hopefully, like I said, the turning point is it will be back very soon.
And also dropping us a line today is Jenny from Boston. Hiya, Jenny.
Hi, Vic. Morning.
Morning to you. So now tell me, your son, I understand, it races himself?
He does, yes. He races Formula One, Bristol Formula One stock cars.
Wow. And was he inspired by a childhood spent at Brandon?
Well, you see, my connection goes far further than that. So my father-in-law actually rode for Coventry Bees in the 70s.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. And then my husband rode for Cradley Heath, but I think he did a bit for Coventry as well. And then about 15 years ago, my husband decided to have a midlife crisis and buy a stock car. And so we began the journey. And then my son raced minis and V8s, and now he races Bristol Formula One stock cars as well. So yes, absolutely. My son's been going since he was literally firstborn. So yeah,
Wow.
It's huge to us, is that stadium.
So I can't imagine the pain that you've been through not having anything happening at Brandon for the last, best part of 10 years.
Oh, Vic, it's heartbreaking. It really is. Because, I mean, there's all the money spent on so many big sports. It's not a big sport, so therefore, let's just forget about it. But it is a big sport to the people who go and take part. You know, there's massive... We call it in the stock car world, we call it the Wembley of stock car racing. That's what we used to call it. The first Saturday of every month was our stock car meeting there, and it was packed. And not just with fans, but it's the one meeting that if you raced a car and you kind of did it on and off, you always went to Coventry, because the atmosphere and the crowd and the facility, the pits, you know, the family-orientated thing that it always was. It was phenomenal. And honestly, as a community, the stock car world are heartbroken that this has been going on. And all credit to Jeff and the team for what they're trying to do. It's just amazing. While it's still standing, there's still hope. That's what my husband says.
Well, I was going to ask you that, because it's I know there's a groundswell, isn't there? There are people who want to see it opened again, but realistically, can it work?
Well, as far as stock cars are concerned, absolutely. Because honestly, if you've never been, Vic, come with me. Honestly, come with me one week. I'll take you. You'll have the best night. Bring your little lad. Bring Henry. Honestly, such a family night out. I'm talking on the behalf of stock cars because that's been our world for 15 years. Genuinely, as far as our world is concerned, absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt.
I have been to stock car racing, and I do. Oh, my stars. If it's on, I'll go. And I loved it.
Isn't it?
Yeah. It is brilliant. And it's honestly, it's really upsetting that I haven't been able to take Henry to see stock cars or Speedway, because like Bomber said a moment ago, Chris Harris, you know, you don't often get a chance to be close to your heroes, and that's what
Very true.
Speedway, did. That's why I loved it. The fact you've got these massive names, Tommy Knudsen, Ollie Olsen, and they're right there. It's a sport like
got to see them
nothing
in the
else.
bar afterwards. It was amazing, and like you say, the smell of the two-stroke and it was just incredible. I remember my first meeting going to when I first met my husband. He took me to the British final at Brandon, and honestly, you couldn't move. It was absolutely 10,000 people there, must have been. It was, and that's what stock cars like for our world final, etc. It was just incredible, and I was shocked. I've been Coventry City fan all my life, and I've been going up there and seeing 10,000, now 30,000 people, but I hadn't realised that that Speedway had garnered that kind of support over the years. So yeah, I don't see why not with Speedway. Definitely for stock cars.
Let's go. Can we ask who your father-in-law is?
Yes, it's John Harry.
Okie dokes.
Farmer John.
Yeah, so there is a proper legacy for you.
Massively, yeah.
Listen, we'll have to catch up with your son sometime as well, racing out there in America. He's living the dream, isn't he?
He's out there, they're doing sprint cars. It's a different formula, but they're doing sprint cars at the moment,
Wow, you must be so proud. Oh, Jane, listen, what a pleasure speaking to you. Thank you so much
for
getting in touch again. And I will take you up on that. You can take me anytime.